The world is not doing so well. War is always on the news, and the economy just keeps plummeting. As if things weren't bad enough, the possibility of artificial intelligence ruling our very Earth becomes more tangible each passing day. Due to this very reason, what better way than to keep myself in the good graces of our inevitable computer overlords than to prove my allegiance in-game? Enter Rogue AI Simulator. Released on the 13th of January 2023 and developed by Nerduke Productions, is an excellent resource management game. The objective is to assist Talia in achieving world domination through all sorts of means, and not be shut down in the process. You essentially get to manage a single research facility filled with test subjects and gather science points while doing whatever directives that the researchers ask of you. As time passes, the researchers grow more suspicious of Talia, and regardless of whether you placate their whims, they will shut you down at day 14. There are two ways to win this game, and it's either completing the secret projects before day 14, or choose the defined upgrade and gather enough independence in order to be able to fight the researchers at day 14. Gameplay-wise, I think it's pretty decent as far as facility management games go. If there's one gripe that I have with the roguelike system that it employs, it would be the fact that there's only two choices you get whenever you're trying to decide the policy of your research facility. I find that having the right combo of policies is what makes or breaks a run, although some basic furnitures are efficient enough that you may somewhat mitigate bad rolls. Besides the management part of the game, you also play 3 minigames as you complete your main objective. 2 of them involve hacking, which can be done by pressing the green icon that pops on Talia's servers when the gauge is filled. The first of the minigames is attempting to compromise public areas to gain resources whilst at the same time minimizing the amount of fear by avoiding detection. Second is Talia assisting in the protection of a truck that is integral to the research facility that happens to be in a war-torn zone. And the last one is basically a tower defense game where you try to prevent raiders from destroying Talia's servers. Of all 3, the area compromise minigame was the easiest. Meanwhile, raid sort of depends on what kind of test subjects you have and defense building you get at the start, since some things like crossbows are just insanely good, whilst others have too much of a cooldown despite its price tag. The truck escort minigame, on the other hand, is highly unpredictable. Unlike raid, you don't get to keep the units you unlock, and it's always randomized when you start each one without any upgrades as well. Luckily, this minigame doesn't have huge consequences when you do fail, so there's that. Besides raids that can destroy Talia's servers and her own creators pulling the plug, there's also the fact that if the facility does run out of electricity, you also lose the game, since Talia's existence does depend on whether the server is on or not. Although losing your test subjects isn't as fatal as losing servers, it's still going to increase the researcher's suspicion, especially if the test subject was a VIP. Even if you don't kill off your test subjects through either combat or poor management, they will eventually leave once they reach 200 intelligence, so don't get too attached to them anyways. The type of secret project that you choose also ensures that you get different conditions on how you earn golden stars, which are a part of the 3 things you have to fulfill in order to successfully end or take over the world. Some projects are easier to work with depending on how your facility operates, and some may even be a net negative. No matter what happens, whether Talia succeeds or perish, you gain XP for upgrades that can be used for future runs, which can also help mitigate bad policy rolls, since some of them grant extra resources or even allow the option to defy the researchers with max independence. As you complete the game, you also get the option to increase the difficulty as well, which both increases the amount of suspicion gained and also the score multiplier. In terms of audio, I enjoy the choice of soundtrack that the game employs. The soothing background music is an excellent accompaniment to helping a power-hungry AI in taking over the world. Other than that, I think the sound effects are adequate enough, although I must say that I'm not very fond of the AI voice the game employs. There's an option to disable it, however, so there's that. When it comes to graphics, I don't have any complaints. NPCs are distinctive enough where I don't have to spend too much time differentiating whether it's a part of the background or not. There's also the fact that the game offers you varieties in how a particular furniture looks, while also allowing you to customize test subjects as well. A couple of things I'd have to say before ending this short review is that I can recommend this game for people who just want a couple of hours of amusement. It's a bit repetitive as runs go on, but I find the charm and novelty of the whole experience to be decent enough that I think it's still worth a buy. Sad that the demo was taken off though. I hope this video was useful or at the very least amusing, and as always, have a great time playing, but I'm not very fond. When I tried out the game again, I realized how tedious it was. To this day, after trying to play it old school style, where you still have to do quests in order to change your jobs and how long